Put it. Ask her questions. Ask her questions. I'm here to help you with your credit. I'm here. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Tell me where the credit score is. Ask questions. Ask questions. Hello, hello. Welcome. Ask your question. I know you clicked on here because you want to get to that 800 credit score. Ask your question below. Let's go. Well, while you're in here, my name is George. I am a credit analyst. So pretty much, I approve loans, whether it's for cars, houses, um, personal loans, credit cards, lines of credit. I'm here uh, to assist you guys. I know the process in and out, and yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Ask your questions away. Let's what you guys want to know. What you guys want to know. So also you have the most simplest. So while you guys come up with a question, I'll give you guys a little background into the 800 credit score. So the 800 credit score is something that's not really easy to hit. It takes years. So we're talking about like 3+ years just to get to a 800 credit score. What you will need to get there is you will need at least a revolving account, which can be essentially a credit card, a store credit card, a gasoline. Um, Also, you have your lines of credit. Those are not a lot of financial institutions give them, but a line of credit essentially can be where you go and ask. So if you have a limit of 10,000, you walk in there and be like, hey, I just want to take some money out my line of credit, and then they'll give you funds to be able to use it. So that's what makes that different between a credit card. Um, and then you have your installment loans. And your installment loans pretty much ends up being a auto, personal loan, mortgage, student loans, buy here, pay near, believe it or not. So you have your Affirms and Klarna that contributes to that. So essentially, for the people that came in, I'm explaining essentially how to get to the 800 credit score. In the comments below, put your questions that you guys have about wanting to about how to get to an 800 credit score. But for the time being, I'm just doing a little background on it. So essentially, how I was saying, you will go ahead and have to have a revolving an installment. You'll have to have 3 years, 3+ years to start getting there, to getting a 800 credit score. Your credit utilization will play a part of it. So how much of your credit utilization you are using, and normally you don't want to exceed 30%. So what do I mean about credit utilization? So credit utilization essentially is how much of your credit cards or revolving accounts you are using. So an example, an easy example would be like, let's say if you have like $1,000, 30% of that you would just do 1,000 times 30, and then hit the percent sign, and that would give you $300. So in reality, you can't exceed $300. I know, I know it's fucking stupid, but if you want to be able to get to that 800 credit score, you have to play in. This is all essentially a game that you have to play, and that's just part of it. What else? So we'll break it down from the algorithm of experience. So you have your payment history, amounts owed, which is the second biggest factor to your credit score. You have your credit history, which is the third. You have amounts owed, not amounts owed. You have credit mix, which comes back to the whole installment and revolving. You have new credit, which is the new one. So start off with payment history. Payment history is pretty much what it is uh, it's pretty much where you go ahead and uh, yeah, sorry, the comments threw me for a spin. All right, for your payment history, essentially, it's how you've been paying on your loan, but it's a little bit more deeper than that. So when your payment history, it's beyond just how are you just paying every month. It also goes how many times have you been late in the last year, and to go a little bit more deeper into that, how far past due did you go? Because normally when we see it in your credit report as a credit analyst, so I'm pretty much a person that approves loans for a living for the new people that are here. So I make these decisions. So I'm looking at credit reports all the time, making a decision. But when you're looking at the payment history, it shows us how many days are you past due. You past due 30, 60, 90, 120 days. It goes and it shows us, and then it doesn't show us anything because normally a lender will go ahead and just sell it to a collection or a um, consolidation. Um, debt, debt consolidation. They send it to a debt collector, which will essentially report it, and that's just more negative. So essentially, with that, we're able to see that how much your past due also falls under your payment history. Um, falls under your. So let's say if you pay $200 a month and you owe $50. That $50 will still show and that will count towards your payment history, which again, we all know that payment history is your biggest factor when it comes to your credit score, nothing new. But how much you still owe is a factor. And that is something that a lot of people don't know and don't understand. Your collections does play a part of it because it was something that you were paying at some point when it came to your credit. Uh, I'll go ahead and take a pause here right now. Anybody have any questions about how to get to an 800 credit score? I'm gonna try to see if I answer some of these questions. Well, let me see what we got. 4 votes. All right, so a lot of you, so 4 of you voted that you're under 500. All right, so essentially, if you're under 500, I'm pretty sure that essentially you are. Essentially, you are under If you're under 500, that means you have missed payments, you have collections, you have high credit utilization. So what you need to start doing is you need to start tackling your debt. Your tackling your debt is going to help you because that attacks the second biggest factor of your credit score. So that's going to be amount owed plays a huge factor. So it's including all the debts that you owe, whether it's credit cards, mortgage, auto loans. We know a lot of people don't pay off their mortgages in 3 or 5 years. Normally, people pay a car within that 5 years. So so you need to start tackling that. I would say if you could at least get it down to paying between 30 to 35% of what you took out, then you'll be able to go ahead and um, the comments are killing me. Then you'll be able to essentially quote unquote start seeing your credit score increase. So you need to start tackling your debts. You need to start tackling your credit card. You need to bring your credit utilization. So if you have a 500 limit credit card, you should not be using more than that's going to be between $100 to $200. That's where the ballpark should be on a $500 credit card. If you have a $300 credit card, that's going to be $100 you can't be exceeding. So if you're running into that issue, that will, if you do have collisions, which I assume you do, if you have under 500, if you have under a 500 credit score, then essentially the collections would only matter if hello, welcome. Pretty much, I am a credit analyst. I pretty much approve loans. Yeah, what up? Welcome to my channel. I'm pretty much a credit analyst. Pretty much, I approve loans for a living. So go ahead. Any questions you have about how to get you to a 300 credit score, put it in the comments, and I'll go ahead and answer that there for you. But essentially, what my job is just that, making a decision. Udah, udah, udah.